this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Sorry about the title, but that's how it is. And I will do my best to get through the last item. I might not make that. Right, some good news. There is an awful lot of things in here growing now, so although it's starting late in the season, I mean the giant Masdevallia, the two quite strong new growths that we were looking at, well there's now 4, there's another 2 just starting. My Inca Prince Masdevallia's got a spike. So things are sort of starting to move. There's a Shari baby up here, it's got a nice spike coming, and I noticed when I watered it yesterday there's a second spike coming. A couple of the odont types that lived up there last year, they've moved. They're still on a high shelf, but it's a lower high shelf and it's up that end. This is the brightest end up here, it's the sun for the longest. On the roof that is. Yeah, there's a couple of those that have got spikes. Now one of those is tiger tail and the other one isn't. And this time when they bloom, I'll put a tag on the tiger tail so that I know which one's which. They're very similar, but they're not the same plant. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so stuff's coming on. There's things moving. There's a few blooms gone over recently. 2 of the Coleogenes have gone. The new one that I brought home from Malvern, the 2 blooms on that have gone, and the Natida that was here, that's gone now. So they've been put back in their sort of more shadier growing place, if you see what I mean, which is a second shelf down away from everything. This end is a brighter light because of that sun on the roof an amount of the day. And then everything the other side of that line isn't. That's the, you know, never sees any sun sort of line. Yeah, so things are growing. Other stuff in the good news. You saw the plants arrive from Carol. They arrived on the Wednesday. They were in the ground by about 10 o'clock Thursday morning, at which point I was not moving about so well as I have done, shall we say, let's put it mildly. And ever since then, and at least for next week, I'm having trouble keeping them alive. What we've got now is sun and some heat. And in the later afternoon and into the evening, where those plants are is in full sun, and I can't do anything about it. Now, it's unusual for this time of year to have this amount of sunshine on a daily basis. It's unusual, but that's how it is. So I hate to think what my water bill is going to be, but I'm having to get out there with the hose. I'm having to water my bonsai every day. The garden tubs, you know, that we planted up quite a while ago, are having to be watered every other day. And this area of the garden behind me is getting watered effectively twice a day. It gets watered in the morning when I do the rest of the garden, and that freshens it up, and overnight the plants seem to revitalise and perk up a bit because obviously it's cooler, yeah? And then I water again just before the sun comes round to give them a sort of refresher and make sure there's plenty of humidity. But they're going to struggle to settle in because of this constant sun and heat. But they're alive. I haven't seen any lost yet. And this weather will break eventually, you know, and then we'll probably be moaning about it raining every day instead. That's our English weather. Right, thank yous for everybody who supports the channel. I don't know why, but my revenue from the adverts on YouTube this month was quite high. Well, it's actually last month. I get it towards the end of this month, but last month. So it looks like the adverts are picking up a bit on YouTube because they went quite flat for some time. There's nothing you can do about that. If the advertisers don't choose to advertise, there's nothing you can do. Now obviously watching them is a whole new ballgame. That's something everybody can do that helps the channel. Watch at least 30 seconds of the advert if you get presented with one. If you're in the middle of something that's really interesting to you and an advert comes up, by all means skip it. I do. Well, I don't anymore because I've gone for premium Which means I don't see any adverts on my Orchid channel now, which is where I watch everybody else's videos, you know, so I don't get into, and music videos and things. There's nothing more annoying than watching a music video and you're getting into the music and then it pops up in the middle of it. Right, so that's that. Thanks to the patrons for hanging in there. A new one this month, great. Thanks to all those who've stuck in with the membership and hung in there, brilliant. And the odd buy me a coffee, again, it all helps. And the subscribers. One of you lucky people recently in the last couple of days was the one that took me up to 14,000. You probably didn't know you did it. But we've gone over the 14,000 mark. It's not a milestone, it's not one of YouTube's big Yahoo, you know, whoopee type sort of things. But for me, it's just another click, another point of progress. So, you know, the number of subscribers just keeps plodding away, keeps going up. And thanks for all the people who have subscribed. Those who've subscribed and stayed there and not unsubscribed, and the new people that have come in. Thank you, it helps. And, you know, the comments, they help. All good stuff, gives me something to do when I get up in the morning. All comments get read and comments get a response on this channel, and I don't believe that will ever change because of the way I run the channel. I do put quite a lot of videos up, and yes, it generates work in the morning to answer any questions or anything, or just put a comment against a comment, but I'm willing to do that. I know there's some of the channels where, you know, you write an essay, a comment like that, and you get no response at all. It's not very fair when people are putting the effort in, so I do. That's me. Right, the other thing is things coming up. And I've got something on every weekend for a while now. Next weekend Hannah's coming down. Well, that's because of circumstances that's yet to be confirmed. But I doubt if that will change. She will probably come down. And it's the weekend before her birthday. She always comes down either the weekend before or the weekend after. So that she's here near her birthday. I mean, occasionally her birthday's at the weekend, but it's, you know, spends more time in the middle of the week than it does at the weekend. And then the following weekend after that is the Wessex Orchid Society's AGM, which I've got to produce the Treasurer's report for. I've made a start. It's only a matter of adding up figures so that I've got like a total for the year, which is adding up to 12 months worth. You know, it's not a big deal in the categories, obviously. So I've started that, that's progressing, that gives me something to do on the laptop when I've not got anything else to do and don't want to go to sleep in the chair. Now yesterday we did, distracted, we got a speckled wood butterfly in the garden. Are you going to stay? Yes, she landed on a leaf. And now I'm not going to rush out there with a camera, Gail. You can look it up, speckled wood. It's a chocolate brown butterfly, and it's one of those that's got a sheen if the light catches it right, and it's a greeny bronze sheen on chocolate brown with primrose yellow little blobs. It's a lovely little butterfly. It's a woodland butterfly. It likes dappled shade, which it's got over in that corner where it's flutterbying around now. The holly blues are around the garden all the time, you know, sometimes 2 or 3 at once. But they land on leaves. They're not, so far I haven't seen a butterfly on any of the blooms, but then a lot of the butterfly type blooms aren't here yet. Quite a few of those are in the lot that's just been planted, that you know, they've got to establish themselves and get to actually generate some blooms, which might not even be this year because of the setback. We should have got on and done that a lot earlier in the year when the plants were smaller and the weather wasn't so, you know, like this. It's smashing. I mean, it's kids' half term. Smashing to have holiday time with lovely weather. And it's virtually guaranteed for the rest of the week. So, well, coming week. So, good stuff. It means it will get noisy for me around here, you know. So be it. It's kids playing, it's, you know, it's life and that. Yeah, so that's the AGM. That's a Saturday afternoon. So that doesn't interfere with anything to do with videos, really. The following week after that is Malvern, which is, I'm going on the Friday. I've got my route planned. I might take a detour, but I've yet to use that road. So what I do is I take my normal route, and then when I get near the M5, where the road I'm on from Birdlip crosses the A46, if you hang a left there, there's a Toby Carvery where you pay £6 and you can stuff yourself with any amount of food you like. You can go back as many times as you like. It's a pig's paradise, basically. Now, I'm not one of those. I go and have what I would normally have as a cooked breakfast, and I don't go back. I've had my breakfast and I've paid very little for it, and I'll have coffee with it, obviously. So that's my plan for that. My journey's planned, but I may peel off the busy bit of the road that runs up to Birdlip. There's often a massive queue and everything, and there's a turning that takes you down the side of this big hill onto a little road that goes straight to where I'm having breakfast without sort of going all around there. So I might have a go at that. Who knows. Anyway, so that's a day at Malvern. Obviously I will be filming a lot while I'm there. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not going to do a spotlight video today. I haven't even got a good reason, apart from the fact I haven't planned, and the ones that we've done, if you think, are the ones I can get at. So that's why they're done, it's because I could get at them. So the ones to do now are ones that I can't get at without moving a load of plants, so I need to plan ahead, which I haven't done. So I'm not going to do one today. People seem to enjoy that spotlight. The trouble is, it's only useful for people who've got or plan on getting that type of orchid. You know, I suppose I can do a spotlight without showing the plants, but it seems that there's less point, isn't there, if you see what I mean. So we won't do that today. Yeah, so that's the stuff coming up. And after Malvern, until we get into the autumn, when the society, autumn shows come up, there's nothing in the orchid arena. There's one or two bonsai events that I'll be going to, but any videos taken there will be on the Bonsai channel. I did a video yesterday on my pet hate bonsai. I don't hate it, I just dislike it. And I've had it a hell of a long time. It's probably about a 20-year-old tree. And part way through doing the video, I thought, actually, I'm going to try and get rid of this. So I sort of said, here it is, make me an offer. I haven't actually had a couple of offers yet. People seem, when you say make me an offer, people don't want to do it. And yet if I said, give me this for it, they'd argue. I'm not paying that much, I'll offer you this. So they are capable of doing the offer, but if you just say, make me an offer, they, what's reasonable, well. Do a bit of work. I had a look on eBay, and this particular tree turns out to be quite rare. And I think part of that is it's a type of elm, so you can't import them, I believe, at the moment. There are severe restrictions on any type of elm coming into this country because of the elm disease that's wiping out our trees. So the chance of bringing in anything new on top of that, I think they're just stopped. And this is a Japanese elm. It's called Zelkova serrata. Anyway, I did a video of it and said, come on then, make me an offer. I've had a couple of emails, but I haven't had an offer yet. I think I know who will buy it actually, but that's over on the Bonsai channel. And obviously I can only sell a tree to people in the UK, because the Brexit rules and CITES and everything like that applies to live plants. So I can't post that to Europe without paperwork. So UK only, yet again. What else? I've stopped feeding the birds. You're probably not happy about that, but I am, on the grounds that in the main I'm feeding a flock of sparrows, and they're perfectly capable of finding their own food, and they're bullying the other birds, the smaller birds, off of the feeders. So they've sort of come to a conclusion now for the summer months. With all this greenery and all this foliage and all this nice weather, wild birds can find their own food. And while they're doing that, they're picking off insects off of my trees and things like that, pests and stuff. So they're doing their job when, if you feed them, they don't do their job. So I've stopped putting food out on the bird feeders for the summer. Come the autumn, when the weather starts getting cold and everything, days get shorter, we'll go back and we'll start again. So that's that. And right, so the last bit, let's see if we can do this. Just over a year ago, in fact a week ago Friday just gone, my youngest son's other half took her own life. Now I don't know whether I actually told you that or whether I just said we've had a family tragedy. But she was from Romania and it caused untold problems because her mother just came and took her home. And that was against the wishes of the notes and everything she'd left. So my son was just left in turmoil, like, you know, like that. And 2 Fridays ago on our anniversary, he's followed suit. So he's gone. Right, so that's an ongoing problem. Obviously there's a funeral to go to and it's not good. Incredibly selfish thing to do. Anyway, it's happened. Can't make things unhappen. So anyway, he lived in Middlesbrough. He's been brought back down to the area where Hannah lives and where his mother lives, and I'll be going up there for what won't be a ceremony because he's basically said I don't want anything. I don't want any songs, I don't want any poems, I don't want anything, and I don't want anybody there apart from immediate family. So there's just, you know, his brother, sister and me and his mum. It's a strange thing, but anyway, on an unhappy note, I'll see you next time.